Do you want to build passive income, reduce your expenses so you can retire early and enjoy life? What if I told you you could do that all through real estate investing without breaking your bank account? Well, if that sounds of interest, you're going to want to stay tuned for this video as I'll be breaking down the 3 different investment strategies new real estate investors can do today to start building their empires. Guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Matthew Kelly. I'm an aspiring real estate agent and investor, and on this channel here, I share all the information I've learned about real estate investing, the real estate process, as well as just general life hacks or productivity hacks, and to help you make more informed decisions so you can live the life you want to live. If that's of interest, make sure to hit the subscribe as you're not going to want to miss out on any one of my future videos, and make sure to drop a like. I greatly appreciate it and it super helps me with the YouTube algorithm. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the top 3 strategies real estate investors can use to start building their empires and their wealth, as real estate is one of the best vehicles to build your wealth. As Andrew Carnegie once said, 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. More money has been made in real estate than all other industrial investments combined. The wise man or the wage earner of today invests his money in real estate. While this quote is a little bit dated, the principles and the weight and the value of this quote still holds true today. Now, you might be asking yourself, how can I invest in real estate if I don't have the money in my bank account? If that's you, you're going to want to stay around for strategy number 3, as this is a great strategy you can start today with no money at all. The first strategy we'll be discussing today is house hacking. So what is house hacking? Well, house hacking is where you rent out a portion of your primary residence. Because it is your primary residence, you will be required to put down less money as well as get more favorable mortgage rates, as the lenders view primary residences as less of a risk. As if everything goes bad financially for you, the first payment you're going to make is not to your investment properties, but rather to the roof you have over your head. If you're also a first-time homebuyer, you can also capitalize on all the benefits and advantages a first-time homebuyer has to offer while you're doing your house hacking. One of the great benefits of being a first-time homebuyer is you're only required to put 5% down on a property rather than compared to a conventional loan, which could be 20 or more percentage. Now, doesn't this mean that your mortgage payment and your mortgage insurance would cost more as you are now having a bigger loan? And while yes, that is true, you're able to find a property where the numbers work, where you're able to purchase that property for only $10,000 compared to $40,000, it gives you a massive leg up as you can enter into this space earlier and start receiving cash flow and other revenue streams that we discussed in a previous video. That you can find a link in the description for that, where I go over the 4 main revenue streams real estate investing has to offer. If you don't like living with roommates, that's completely all right, because you can still house hack with any duplexes, triplexes, or fourplexes, as you're able to buy the property as a primary residence and then rent out the additional units you're not living in. Now, you can't house hack anything with more than 4 units, as when you get into the 5 units plus, it starts to be seen as commercial real estate and no longer applies as your primary residence, which is one of the main benefits you get from house hacking. So in summary, house hacking is where you buy a property that has less than 4 units and rent out the additional bedrooms or units you're not occupying. This will allow you to get into real estate sooner, as you'll be able to use other people's money to help pay for the mortgage, but you'll also be able to take all the advantages of a primary residence that they have to offer. On top of all the advantages, house hacking will allow you to reduce your monthly expenses, as you'll be getting other people to help assist on all these expenses that are associated with the property you now own. The second investment strategy that's available to all real estate investors was made popular by Brandon Turner, and it's called the BRRRR Strategy. And what this stands for is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. So when you're looking out for properties for the BRRRR method, you want to look for properties that need cosmetic repairs. So you're not looking for those HGTV perfectly done up homes. This won't work for the BRRRR strategy, as you're going to need some ways you can improve it yourself through cosmetic repairs, whether that's a fresh coat of paint, some new walls, maybe a new kitchen, depending on how much financing you're able to put down. However, one thing you should keep in mind is you want to make your repairs more towards the cosmetics where the end consumer, so the end renter or the end buyer, can see, rather than those upgrades that no one can see, like a new HVAC system or a new water heater. I think the best way to explain how the BRRRR strategy works is to simply break it down with a simple example. Let's say you find a property worth 60K, and I know that's very unrealistic in a lot of situations in a lot of areas out there. However, for this example, let's just keep it extremely simple so you can understand the math. So you find a property worth 60K, and let's say it needs $15,000 in repairs to get it up and ready for you to rent out. This means you're now 75K into this property with purchasing it for 60K, rehabbing it for 15K, and now you're looking to rent out the property. And since you've done the recent rehabs, you're more likely to find a good tenant because of the quality space you're able to provide. Now you want to make sure to screen for good tenants, as this can make or break an investment property, but we'll chat about that in another video. The next step in the BRRRR method is to refinance. Now this could be after 6 months or after a couple of years. So you've bought the house for $60,000, you put in $15,000 of repairs, so that's only a total of $75,000. However, when you approach the bank, your property is now worth $100,000. Well, the reason why that is, you forced appreciation by fixing up. Now, appreciation is a little bit more complex than that, and you can learn a bit more about appreciation in the video I mentioned earlier, where I broke down the 4 different revenue streams of real estate investing, which you'll find in the link in the description. So when you go to the bank to refinance, banks typically look to refinance on 75% worth of the property. So if your property is now worth $100,000, you'd be able to refinance and take out $75,000 in cash, allowing you to put that money towards your next real estate investment. So now you've gotten the money you've put in to buy the house, the $60,000 plus the $15,000 for the rehab, but you also have an asset that is producing cash flow every single month, giving you another income stream. BRRRR is a great advantage for any real estate investor, as it capitalizes on both the advantages from house flipping as well as rental properties, as when you use the BRRRR strategy, you're immediately going to get that forced appreciation from those cosmetic rehabs you'll be doing, as well as you'll be able to create that passive income that rental properties have to offer by providing you with a cash flow every single month from a renter. Now, when you have this cash flow every single month, you can better choose when you decide you want to sell the property, so you can wait for the best time in the market or for your own personal situation to sell. Furthermore, since you did do the rehab, you're more likely to get a quality tenant, as the space you'll be providing will be more updated and therefore attract a higher quality tenant. And one final advantage I want to mention is that all these rehabs and cosmetic repairs are CapEx expenses, allowing you to write them off and therefore reduce your income and reduce the amount of taxes you have to pay on that property. And because the BRRRR strategy is more of a longer term strategy over a year's time, typically, you'll be able to capitalize on the long-term capital gains tax rather than the short-term capital gains tax, which essentially all that means is that you'll be taxed at a lower rate if you hold the property for more than a year. The third real estate investment strategy, and this strategy you can get started today with zero money at all in your bank account, is wholesaling. With wholesaling, you want to be looking for distressed properties that needs a lot of work and that will be well below the market average, where typically no one is living. Now, these properties might not be listed on the local MLS. However, so you might have to do some driving for dollars, where you drive around your city and look for houses or properties that may not be inhabited or have looked super run down. Once you have found a couple of your homes, go to the city directory and try to figure out who the owner of the home is and contact them and see what price they would accept for that home. Let's say you find the home and the homeowner is willing to agree for $100,000 for the property. What you want to do is get them to sign an assignable contract, which essentially states that within 30 days, you yourself or you can assign someone to purchase the home at this price. And if it doesn't get assigned to yourself or to somebody else, it's okay. You guys can go your separate ways and move on to the next deal. But during these 30 days, you have a contract that solves an investor's problems, as real estate investors are always looking for deals that work for them. So when you find this assignable contract, let's say $100,000, you're going to offer the investor to purchase it for $110,000. That $10,000 difference is what is called the finder's fee, and this is typically either 5 to 10% of the sales price. So why should you do the $10,000? Well, that's called a finder's fee. And this is because you put all the legwork in and did all the due diligence and found the property for the real estate investor. And as a result, you get rewarded for your hard work. So there you have it. Those are the 3 most popular investment strategies available to investors out there. So to quickly recap, the 3 investment strategies were house hacking, which is where you rent out a portion of your primary residence to offset the cash flow. 2, the BRRRR strategy, which represents buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. And the final one, which is wholesaling, which is where you find a distressed property and get an assignable contract for a price that is attractive for an investor to purchase. So now you have a better understanding of the 3 most common strategies so you can make the best decision moving forward on which strategy best aligns with the lifestyle and the goals you have. If you're looking to invest in real estate in the future and you want to continue with your real estate education journey, make sure you subscribe, as I'll be posting weekly videos all around the real estate process, as well as real estate investing, as well as some just general life advice that I have picked up along the way. So again, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like. I would really appreciate it, and it would greatly help me in the YouTube algorithm. Otherwise, have a great and successful week, and I'll talk to you soon.